pneumonia.
I'm sorry, Mother. I'll get you a taxi right away. Sorry.
Oh, he's your son, is he? Well, if you've done your duty by him as a mother should, you teach him not to spoil a poor girl's flowers and then run away without paying.
Go about your business, my girl.
Taxi! Taxi!
I say, Captain, buy a flower off the poor girl.
I'm sorry, I haven't any change.
I can change up a crown. Here, take this for tuppence.
I'm sorry, I really haven't any... Stop! Here's 3 halfpence if that's any use to you.
Thank you, sir.
Here, you be careful. Begging him a flower for it. There's a bloke back there writing down every blessed word you're signing.
I ain't done nothing wrong by speaking to the gentleman. I've a right to sell flowers if I keep off the curb. I'm a respectable girl, so help me. I ain't never spoke to him except to ask him to buy a flower off me. Oh, the blooming Lord. There's the tax taking it down. Oh, sir, don't let him charge me. You don't know what it means to me. They'll take away my cash and drive me into the streets for speaking.
There. Who's hurting you, silly girl?
Oh, my Papa.
Oh, shut up. Do I look like a policeman?
What'd you take down my words for? How do I know if you took me down right? You just show me what you wrote about me. What's that? That ain't proper writing. I can't read that.
I can. Why say, Captain, buy a flower off a poor girl?
It's because I called him Captain. I meant no harm. Oh, sir, don't let him lay a charge against me. I don't know what
Charles! Really, sir, if you are a detective, you need not be protecting me against molestation by a young girl unless I ask you to. Anyone could see the girl meant no harm.
Why, he ain't attacked. He's a gentleman. Look at his boots.
And how are all your people down at Chelsea?
How did you know my people come from Chelsea?
Never mind, they did. And how did you come to be up so far east? You were born Lysenborough.
What harm is there in my leaving Lysenborough? What bit for a pig to live in and I have to pay 4 and 6 a week?
Live where you like, but stop that noise.
Come, he can't touch you. You have the right to live wherever you please.
I'm a good girl, I am. Do you know where I come from?
Hoxton.
Well, who said I didn't? Blimey, you know everything you do. Why don't you tell him where he comes from if you want to go a fortune telling?
Cheltenham, Harrow, Cambridge, and India.
Quite right.
He ain't attacked, he's a bloomin' busybody, that's what he is.
May I ask you, sir, do you do this sort of thing for a living in the music halls?
No, but perhaps I will someday.
He's no gentleman, he ain't, to interfere with a poor girl.
How do you do it, if I may ask?
Simple phonetics, the science of speech. That's my profession, also my hobby. Anyone can spot an Irishman or Yorkshireman by his brogue. I can place a man within 2 miles. I can place a man within 2 miles and under. Sometimes within 2 streets.
Ought to be ashamed of himself. Unmanly coward.
But is there a living in that?
Oh yes, quite a bad one.
Let him mind his own business.
Woman! Cease this detestable boo-hooing instantly, or seek the shelter of some other place of worship.
I've a right to be if I like, same as you.
A woman who utters such depressing and disgusting noises has no right to be anywhere, no right to live. Remember, you're a human being with a soul, and the divine gift of articulate speech. That your native language is the language of Shakespeare, and Milton, and the Bible. And don't sit there crooning like a bilious pigeon.
Ow!
Look at her, a prisoner of the gutters, condemned by every syllable she utters. By right she should be taken out and hung for the cold-blooded murder of the English tongue. Oh, heavens, what noise. This is what the British population calls an elementary education.
Oh, come, sir, I think you picked a poor
Did
example.
I? Hear them down in Soho Square, dropping H's everywhere, speaking English any way they like. You, sir, did you go to school? What a kind you are, fool. No one taught you take instead of type. Here a Yorkshireman or worse, here a Cornish man prefers I'd rather hear a choir singing black. Chickens cackling in a barn, just like this one.
Yeah!
Gone. I ask you, sir, what sort of word is gone? It's O and gone that keep her in her place. Not the wretched slow, dirty face. Why can't the English teach our children how to speak? This first-class distinction by now should be antique. If you spoke as she does, sir, instead of the way you do, why you might be selling flowers too.
I beg your pardon?
An English way of speaking absolutely classifies it. The moment he talks, he makes some other Englishmen despise it. One common language, I'm afraid we'll never get. Oh, why can't the English learn to set a good example to people whose English is painful to your ears? The Scotch and the Irish leave you close to tears. There even are places where English completely disappears. In America, they haven't used it for years. Why can't the English teach their children how to speak? Norwegians learn Norwegian, the Greeks are taught their Greek. In France, every Frenchman knows this language from A to Z. The French never care what they do, actually, as long as they pronounce it properly. A raven's learn Arabian with the speed of summer lightning. The Hebrews learn it backwards, which is absolutely frightening. But use proper English, you're regarded as a freak. Oh, why can't the English? Why can't the English learn to speak? You see this creature with her curbstone English? The English will keep her in the Duchess to the end of her days. Well, sir, in 6 months, I could pass her off as a Duchess of an embassy ball. I could even get her a place as a lady's maid or shop assistant, which requires better English.
Yeah, what's that you say?
Yes, you squashed capital. You disgrace the noble architecture of these columns. You incarnate insult to the English language. I can pass you off as the Queen of Sheba.
Taxi!
Oh, you don't believe that, Captain.
Oh, well, anything's possible. You see, I myself am a student of the Indian dialects.
Are you? Do you know Colonel Pickering, author of spoken Sanskrit?
I am Colonel Pickering. Who are you?
Henry Higgins, author of Higgins' Universal Alphabet.
I came from India to meet you.
I was going to India to meet you.
Higgins?
Pickering. Where are you staying?
The Carlton.
No, you're not. You're staying at 27A Wimpole Street. Come along, we'll have a jolly supper.
Right, you all.
Buy a flower, kind sir, and shop for me lodging.
Lie! You said you could change half a crown.
Oh, you ought to be stuffed with nails, you ought. Here, take the whole blooming basket, 6 pence.
Ah, the church, a reminder. Indian dialects have always fascinated me. I have reckoned over 50.
Have you now? Do you realize there are over 200?
By George's first and none.
Ow! 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 Ow!
Stand up, gentlemen. Here's the bits.
Could you be looking back and made, Eliza?
You won't do.
It's rather dull in town, I think I'll take me to Paris.
The missus wants to open up
No charges, all. Drinks as you pay for, not drunk. Come on, Jalil, out you go. Up it now, on the double.
Thanks for your hospitality, George. Send the bill to Buckingham Palace.
Alfie, I guess it's home we go now.
No. What do you want to go home for? Eliza should be along in a few minutes. She'll be good for half her crown for a father what loves her.
Loves her? That's a laugh. You ain't been near her for months.
Well, what's that got to do with it? What's half a crown after all I've given her?
Alfie, when you ever given her anything?
Anything? I gave her everything. I gave her the greatest gift any human could give to another. Life. I introduced her to this here world, I did, with all its wonders and marvels. This lovely world with the sun that shines and the moon that glows. I popped to walk in on a fine spring night, and the whole ruddy city of London to roam about selling her blooming flowers. I give over to that, then I disappears and leave her on her own to enjoy it. Now if that ain't worth half a crown now and again, I'll take my belt off and give a walk full.
You got a good heart, Alfie, but if you want to have a crown, you better have a good story to go with it.
Eliza! What a surprise!
Not a brass farthing.
Oh, come on, Eliza. You wouldn't have a heart to send me home to your stepmother without a little liquid protection now, would you?
Stepmother indeed.
Well, I'm willing to marry her. It's me that suffers by it. I'm a slave to that woman, Eliza, just 'cause I ain't her lawful husband. Now, come on. Slip your old dad half a crown to go home on.
Well, I had a bit enough myself tonight, so here.
George, bring Glorious Spears.
But don't keep coming around counting on our friends from me.
Good night, Eliza, your noble daughter. You see, boys, I told you not to go home. It's just faith, hope, and a little bit of luck. The Lord above gave man an arm of iron. So he can do his job and never shirk. The Lord above gave man an arm of iron, but with a little bit of luck, with a little bit of luck, someone else will do the freaking work. With a little bit, with a little bit, with a little bit of luck, you'll never work. The Lord above gave liquor for temptation, just see if man could turn away from sin. The Lord above gave liquor for temptation, but with a little bit of luck, with a little bit of luck, when temptation comes, you'll give right in. With a little bit, with a little bit, with a little bit of luck, you'll give right in. Oh, you can walk the straight and narrow, but with a little bit of luck, you'll run amok. The gentle sex was made for man to marry, to share his nest and see his food is cooked. The gentle sex was made for man to marry, but with a little bit of luck, with a little bit of luck, you can have it all and not get hooked. With a little bit, with a little bit, with a little bit of luck, you won't get hooked. With a little bit, with a little bit, with a little bit of blooming love.
Been quiet down there. How's the woman supposed to get rest?
Shut up, lady, shut up.
Here. That's the way to talk to a lady. We gotta be neighborly like boys. After all, the Lord above made man to help his neighbor, no matter where, on land or sea or boat. The Lord above made man to help his neighbor, but with a little bit of luck, with a little bit of luck, when he comes around, you won't be home. With a little bit, with a little bit, with a little bit of luck, you won't be home. They're always throwing goodness at you, but with a little bit of luck, you man can now. Oh, it's a crime for men to go for land green mud with a little bit of luck, with a little bit of luck. You can see the bloodhound won't find out. With a little bit, with a little bit, with a little bit of luck, she won't find out. With a little bit, with a little bit, with a little bit of newbie love.
I say, Higgins, couldn't we turn on the lights?
Nonsense, you hear much better in the dark.
But it's a fearful strain listening to all those vowel sounds. I'm afraid I'm quite done up for this afternoon.
Mr. Higgins, are you there?
Yes, what is it, Mrs. Pierce?
A young woman wants to see you, sir.
A young woman? What does she want? Has she an interesting accent?
Oh, something dreadful, sir.
Show her up, Mrs. Pierce. Let's have her up.
Very well, sir. It's for you to say.
This is rather a bit of luck. I'll show you how I make records. We'll set her talking, and I'll take her down in Bell's visible speech, and then in broad Romic. And then we'll get her on the phonograph, so you can turn her on as often as you like, with the written transcript before you.
This is the young woman, sir.
Oh, no! This is the girl I jotted down last night. She's no use to me. I've got all the records I want in the Lysengrove lingo, and I'm not going to waste another cylinder on it. Be off with you. I don't want you.
Don't you be so saucy. You ain't heard what I come for yet. Did you tell him I'd come in a taxi?
Nonsense, girl. What do you think a gentleman like Mr. Higgins cares what you came in?
Oh, we are proud. He ain't above giving lessons. Not if I heard him say so. Well, I ain't come here asking any compliment, and if my money's not good enough, I can go elsewhere.
Good enough for what?
Good enough for you. Now, you know, don't you? I've come to have lessons, I have, and to pay for them too, make no mistake.
Well, what do you expect me to say?
Well, if you was a gentleman, you might ask me to sit down, I think. Don't I tell you I'm bringing you business?
Pickering, shall we ask this baggage to sit down, or shall we throw her out the window?
Ow! I won't be called baggage when I'm offered to pay like any lady.
But what is it you want?
I want to be a lady in a flower shop, instead of selling flowers down at the corner of Tottenham Court Road. But they won't take me unless I can talk more genteel. Well, he said he could teach me, and here I am, ready to pay, not asking any favor, and he treats me as if I was dirt. I know what lessons cost, and I'm ready to pay.
How much?
Now you're talking. I thought you'd come up it when you saw a chance of getting back a bit of what you chucked at me last night. You'd have to drop in and just.
Sit down.
Oh, if you're gonna
Sit down.
What is your name?
Eliza Doolittle.
Won't you sit down, Miss Doolittle?
Oh, I don't mind if I do.
How much do you propose to pay me for these lessons?
Oh, I know what's right. I'm a lady friend who gets French lessons for 18 pence an hour from a real French gentleman. Well, you wouldn't have the face to ask me to pay the same for my own language as you would for French, so I won't give more than a shilling. Take it or leave it.
You know, Pickering, if we consider a shilling, not is a mere shilling. But as a percentage of this girl's income, why, it works out to be 60 or 70 pounds from a millionaire. By George, it's the biggest offer I've ever had.
60 pounds? What are you talking about? I know.
Oh, hold your tongue.
But I ain't got 60 pounds.
Don't cry, you silly girl. Sit down. Nobody's going to touch your money.
Oh, one would think you was my father.
If I decide to teach you, I'll be worse than two fathers to you. Here,
What's this for?
to wipe your eyes. To wipe any part of your face that feels moist. Remember, that's your handkerchief and that's your sleeve. Don't confuse one to the other if you wish to become a lady in a shop.
Higgins, I'm interested. What about your boast that you could pass her off as a duchess at an embassy ball? If you could do that good, I'd say you're the greatest teacher alive. I'll bet you all the expensive experiments that you can't do it, and I'll even pay for the lesson.
Oh, you're real good. Thank you, Captain.
It's almost irresistible. She's so deliciously loved, so horribly dirty.
Ow, I ain't dirty. I wash my face and hands before I come, I did.
I'll take it. I'll make a duchess of this draggle-tailed gutter snake. I'll start today. Now, this moment, Mrs. Pierce, take her away and clean up. Sandpaper her if it doesn't fall off any other way. Is there a fire in the kitchen?
Yes, but I...
Take all the clothes off and burn them. Ring up and order some new ones. Wrap her in brown paper until they come.
Oh, you're no gentleman, you're not. Talk of such things. I'm a good girl, I am. And I know what the likes of you are, I do.
Woman, we want none of your slumprootery here. You've got to learn to behave like a duchess. Mrs. Pierce, take her away. If she gives you any trouble, wallop her.
I'll call the police, I will.
But I'm the place to put her.
Put her in the dustbin.
Ow!
Oh, Higgins, be reasonable.
You must be reasonable, Mr. Higgins. Really, you must. You cannot walk over everybody like this.
I walk over everybody. My dear Mrs. Pierce, my dear Pickering, I never had the slightest intentions of walking over anybody. All I propose that we be kind to this poor girl. If I did not express myself clearly in the first place, it is because I did not wish to hurt her delicacy or yours.
But, sir, you can't take a girl up like that as if she were a pebble on the beach.
Why not?
Why not? But you don't know anything about her. What about her parents? She may be married.
God.
There, as a girl very properly says, God.
He'll marry me.
By George, Eliza, the streets will be strewn with the bodies of men shooting themselves for your sake by the time I'm done with you.
Here I'm going. Ain't got this chump is. I don't want no balmies teaching me.
Oh, I'm mad, am I? Very well, Mrs. Pierce. You needn't order the new clothes for her. Throw her out.
Stop, Mr. Higgins. I won't allow this. Go home to your parents, girl.
I ain't got no parents.
There, she ain't got no parents. What's all the fuss about? She doesn't belong to anybody, and she's no use to anybody but me. Miss Pierce, take her away and
But what is to become of her? Is she to be paid anything? Oh, do be sensible, sir.
She'll only drink if you give her money.
Oh, that's a lie. Nobody ever saw the sign of liquor in me. Oh, sir, you're a gentleman. Don't let him speak to me like that.
Does it occur to you, Higgins, that the girl has some feelings?
No, I don't think so. No, none of your feelings we need bother about, have you, Eliza?
Mr. Higgins, I must know on what terms the girl is to be here. What is to become of her when you've finished your teaching? You must look ahead a little, sir.
What is to become of her if I leave her in the gutters, Mrs. Pierce? Answer me that.
That's her own business, not yours, Mr. Higgins.
So, when I'm done with her, we can throw her back in the gutters and it will be her own business again. So that's all right.
Oh, you've got no feeling on in you. You don't care for nothing but yourself. I've had enough of this. I'm going.
Wait, Eliza. Have a chocolate.
How do I know what might be in them? I bet a girl's being drugged by the like of you.
Pledge of good faith. I eat one half. You eat the other. You shall have boxes of them, barrels of them. You shall live in them,
I wouldn't have ate it, only I'm too ladylike to take it out of my mouth.
Think of it, Eliza. Think of chocolates, and taxis, and gold, and diamonds.
No, I don't want no golden diamond. I'm a good girl, I am.
Excuse me, Higgins, but I really must interfere. Mrs. Pierce is quite right. If the girl is to put herself in your hands for the next 6 months on experiment in teaching, she must understand thoroughly what she's doing.
Eliza, you are to stay here for the next 6 months, learning to speak beautifully, like a lady in a shop. If you are good and do whatever is told of you, you should sleep in a proper bedroom and have lots to eat and money to buy chocolates and take rides in taxis. If you are naughty and idle, you should sleep in the back kitchen among the black beetles and be walloped by Mrs. Pierce with a broomstick. At the end of 6 months, you should go to Buckingham Palace in a carriage, beautifully dressed. If the king finds out you are not a lady, you should be taken to the Tower of London, where your head will be cut off as warning to other presumptuous flower girls. If you are not found out, you shall have a present of 7 and 6 to start life with as a lady in a shop. If you refuse this offer, you're the most ungrateful, wicked girl, and the angels will weep for you. Now are you satisfied, Pickering? Could have I put it more plainly or fairly, Mrs. Pierce?
Come with me, Liza.
Thank you, Mrs. Pierce. Bundle her off to the bathroom.
Oh, you're a great bully. I won't stay here my whole life, and I won't let nobody wallop me.
Don't answer back, girl.
If I know what I'm talking about, I never
In 6 months, in 3, if she has a good ear and a quick tongue, I'll take her anywhere. Pass her off as anything. I'll make a queen of that barbarous wretch.
Higgins, forgive the bluntness, but if I'm to be involved in this business, I shall feel responsible for the girl. I hope it is clearly understood that no advantage is to be taken of her position.
What? That thing? Sacred, I assure you.
Oh, come, Higgins. You know what I mean. This is no trifling matter. Are you a good man of character where women are concerned?
Have you ever met a man of good character where women are concerned?
Yes, quite frequently.
Well, I haven't. I find the moment that I let a woman make friends with me, she becomes suspicious, jealous, exacting, and a damn nuisance. I also find the moment that I make friends with a woman, I become selfish and tyrannical. So here I am, a confirmed old bachelor, and likely to remain so. After all, Pickering, I'm an ordinary man who desires nothing more than just the ordinary chance to live exactly as he likes and do precisely what he wants. An average man am I, of no eccentric whim, who wants to live his life free of strife, doing whatever he thinks is best for him. Just an ordinary man. But let a woman in your life, and your serenity is through. Sure, decorate your home from the cellar to the dome, and get on to the enthralling fun of overhauling you. Oh, let a woman in your life, and you are up against the wall. Make a plan and you will find she has something else in mind, and so rather than do either, you do something else and neither likes at all. You want to talk of Keats or Milton, she only wants to talk of love. You go to see a play or ballet, and spend it searching for her love. Oh, let a woman in your life, and you invite her to her strife. Let them buy their wedding bands for those anxious little hands. I'd be equally as willing for the dentist to be drilling that you ever let a woman in my life. I'm a very gentle man, even-tempered and good-natured, whom you never hear complain, who has the milk of human kindness by the quart in every way. A patient man am I, down to my fingertips, the sort who never could, ever would, let an insulting remark escape his lips. Just a very gentle man. But there's a woman in your life, and Patience hasn't got a chance. She will beg for your advice, your reply will be concise, she will listen very nicely and go out and do precisely what she wants. You are a man of grace and polish, who never spoke above a hush. Not only once you are using language that will make a sailor blush. But let a woman in your life, and you're plunging in the night. Let the others of my sex tie the knot around their necks. I prefer a new edition of the Spanish Inquisition. that you ever let a woman in my life. I'm a quiet living man who prefers to spend his evenings in the quiet of his room, who likes an atmosphere as restful as an undiscovered tomb, a pensive man am I, a philosophic joyous, who wants to meditate, contemplate, free from humanity's mad and human noise. Just a quiet living man. But let a woman in your life, and your sabbatical is through. In a life that never ends, come an army of her friends, come to jabber and to chatter and to tell her what the matter is with you. You have a booming boisterous family, who descend from you en masse. You have a non-Wagnerian mother, with a voice that shatters glass. Oh, let a woman in your life. Oh, let a woman in your life. Oh, let a woman in your life. I shall never let a woman in my life.
Which is the right and proper
of that?
He may not be a blackguard, Higgins.
Nonsense. Of course he's a blackguard.
Well, whether he is or not, I'm afraid we'll have some trouble with him.
I think not. If there's any trouble, he shall have it with me, not I with him.
Doolittle said.
Professor Higgins.
Here. Good morning.
Morning, Governor. I come about a very serious matter, Governor.
Born in Hanslow, mother Welsh. What do you want, Doolittle?
I want my daughter, see? That's what I want.
Ah, of course you do. You are her father, aren't you? I'm glad to see there's some spark of family feeling left. She's upstairs here. Take her away.
What?
Take her away. You don't suppose that I'm going to keep your daughter for you?
Now look here, Governor. Is it bad to take advantage of a man like this? The girl belongs to me. And you have her. Where do I come in?
How dare you come here and attempt to blackmail me? You sent her here on purpose.
Don't take a man up like that, Governor.
The police should take you up. This is a plot, a plan to extort money by threats. I should telephone the police.
Have I said one word about a brass farthing? I leave it to this man right here. Have I said a word about money?
Then what else did you come for?
Well, what would a bloke come for, Governor? Be human.
Alfred, you sent her here on purpose.
So help me, Governor, I never did.
Then how did you know she was here?
Well, I'm willing to tell you if you only let me get a word in. I'm willing to tell you. I'm wanting to tell you. I'm waiting to tell you.
Pickering, this old chap has certain natural gift of rhetoric. Observe the rhythm of his wood notes while. I'm willing to tell you, I'm wanting to tell you, I'm waiting to tell you. That's the Welsh strain in there. How did you know she was here if you didn't send for her?
Well, she said on for luggage, and I got to hear about it. She said she didn't want no clothes. What was I to think about that, Governor? I asked you as a variant. What was I to think?
So you came to rescue her from worse than death, hmm?
Just so, Governor, that's right.
Mrs. Pierce, Eliza's father has come to take her away. Give it to him.
Wait a minute, Governor. You and me's men of the world, ain't we?
Oh, men of the world, are we? You'd better go, Mrs. Pierce.
I think so indeed, sir.
Governor, I'm taking a sort of fancy to you. And if you want the girl that bad, I'm not so certain having her back home again. But what I might be open to is an arrangement. Well, I can see you're one of the straight sort, Governor. And I know you're the last man alive that would expect me to let her go for nothing. So, what's a £5 note to you? And what's Eliza to me?
I think you ought to know, Doolittle, that Mr. Higgins' intentions are entirely honorable.
Well, of course they are. If I thought they wasn't, I'd ask for 50.
Do you mean to say that you would sell your daughter for £50?
Have you no morals, man?
Oh, no. I can't afford them. And neither could you if you was as poor as me. Well, not that I mean any harm, mind you, but what am I? What am I, you ask? I'm one of the undeserving poor, that's what I am. And think of what that means to a man. It means he's up against the middle-class morality for all the time. Whenever there's anything going, and I put in for it, it's always the same story. You can't have it because you're undeserving. Well, my needs were as great as the most deserving widows who took money out of just 6 different charities in the same week for the death of the same husband. I ain't any less than a deserving man, and I don't need any less than he does. I need more. I don't need less Audie than he does, and, well, I drink a lot more. I'm playing straight with you, Governor. I'm not deserving. I'm undeserving. And I mean to go on being undeserving. I like it, and that's the truth. But would you take advantage of a man's nature to do him out of the price of his own daughter, who is fed and clothed by the sweat of his brow, until she's grown up to be of interest to you two gentlemen. Is £5 unreasonable? I put it to you, and I leave it to you.
I suppose we ought to give him a fiver.
I'm afraid he'll make bad use of it.
Not me to help you, Governor. Just one good spree for the missus and myself. Giving pleasure to ourselves and employment to others. And satisfaction to you to know that it hadn't been thrown away. You couldn't spend it better.
Oh, damn. Let's give him 10.
No. The missus wouldn't have the heart to spend 10. £10 is a lot of money. And well, it makes a man feel prudent-like. Then it's goodbye to happiness. No, sir, you give me what I ask for. Not a penny less, not a penny more.
Higgins, I'd rather draw the line in encouraging this sort of immorality. Do listen, why don't you marry that missus of yours? Marriage isn't so bad. You married Eliza's mother.
Who told you that, Governor?
Well, no one. I conclude naturally that...
Hickory, if we listen to this man another minute, we shall have no convictions left. £5, I think you said.
Thank you, Governor.
I
Beg your pardon, miss.
won't say them pretty bells one more time.
Blimey! It's Eliza! I never thought she'd clean up so good looking. She does me credit, don't she, Governor?
Here, what are you doing here?
You hold your tongue. And don't you give these gentlemen any of your lip. If you have any trouble with it, Governor, give a few licks with the strap. That's the way to improve a mind. Good morning, gentlemen. Cheerio, Eliza.
By George, there's a man for you. A philosophical genius to the first water. Mrs. Pierce, write to Mr. Ezra Wallingford and tell him that if he wants a lecturer, to get in touch with Mr. Alfred P. Doolittle, a common dustman, but one of the most original moralists in England.
Yes, sir.
Here, what did he come for?
Say your vows.
I know my vows. I knew them before I came.
If you know them, say them.
I-E-I-L-U.
Stop. A-E-I-O-U.
That's what I said. I-E-I-L-U. I've been saying them for 3 days and I won't say them no more.
I know it's difficult, Miss Duval, but try to understand that...
No use explaining, Hickory. As a military man, you ought to know. Drilling is what she needs. You'd better leave, or she'll turn to you for sympathy.
All right, Higgins, if you insist, but have a little patience with the girl.
Of course. Say A.
You ain't got no heart, you ain't.
A.
A.
Hey!
A.
Hey!
A.
Hey!
A.
Eliza, I promise you, you will pronounce your vows correctly before this day is out, or there'll be no lunch, no dinner, and no chocolates.
Just you wait, Ed Riggins, just you wait. You'll be sorry, but your tears will be too late. You'll be broken all the money, will I help yourself be funny? Just you wait, Ed Riggins, just you wait. Just you wait, Ed Riggins, till you're sick. And you scream to fetch a doctor double quick. I'll be off right glad we will do. Thanks a lot, King, says I, in a manner of bread. But all I want is every Higgins head. Gad, says the king with a stroke. Don't run and bring the book. And now march you every Higgins through the wall. And the king will tell me lies us down the call. As they raise their rifles higher, I'll shout ready, aim, fire! Oh, 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 Henry Higgins! Down you go, Henry Higgins! Just you wait! The rhyme is fine, stay mildly in the plot.
The rain in Spain stays mainly in the plain.
Didn't I say that?
No, Eliza, you didn't sigh that. You didn't even say that. Every night before you get into bed, where you used to say your prayers, I want you to repeat, the rain in Spain stays mainly in the plain, 50 times. You will get further with the Lord if you learn not to offend his ears. Now for your H's. Pickering, this is going to be ghastly.
Control yourself, Higgins. Give the girl a chance.
Of course. No one expects you to get it right the first time. Come here, Eliza. You see this flame? Every time you say your H properly, the flame will waver. Every time you drop your H, the flame will stay stationary. That's how you know you've done it correctly. In time, your ear will hear the difference. Now watch closely. In Hartford, Hereford, and Hampshire, hurricanes hardly ever happen. Now repeat after me. In Hartford, Hereford, and Hampshire, hurricanes hardly ever happen.
In Oxford, Hereford, Hampshire, hurricanes hardly ever happen.
No.
Should I do it over?
Oh, no. Please, no. We must start from the very beginning. Do this. Huff, 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 huff.
Hop, 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 hop.
Go on.
Hop, hop.
Does the same thing hold true in India, Pickering? The peculiar habit of not only dropping a letter, like the letter H, but placing it where it shouldn't be, such as heather instead of ever. I've noticed that some Slavic people, when they first learn English, do this with their G's. They say linger instead of linger, and then they turn around and say singer instead of singer. I wonder why that's so. I must look that up.
Hop, hop, hop.
Go on. Kind of you. Now listen closely, Eliza. How kind of you to let me in.
How kind of you to let me come.
No. That is delicious. I wonder where Mrs. Pierce gets it.
First rate. Oh, and the strawberry tarts are delicious. And have you tried the flying kite?
Now try it again.
Have you?
No, Hickory! Eliza, try it again. A cup of tea.
A cup of tea.
Can't you hear the difference? Put your tongue forward until it touches the top of your lower teeth. Now say cup.
Hop.
Now say
Of.
Now say cup, 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 up.
Cup, 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 of, cup.
First
cup,
rate.
cup, cup, of,
Higgins,
of,
finish the strawberry tart.
cup,
I could eat another thing,
of.
No thanks, old chap, really.
but it's a shame to waste it.
But we won't go to waste. I know someone who's immensely fond of strawberry tarts.
Cup. Ow!
Now I want you to read this poem and enunciate each word just as if the marbles were not in your mouth. With blackest moss, the flower pots are thickly crusted, one and all. Each word clear as a bell.
I can't.
Higgins, are those pebbles really necessary?
If they were necessary for Demosthenes, then they are necessary for Eliza Doolittle. Now try it again. I cannot understand a word, not a word.
Higgins, perhaps the poem was too difficult for the girl. Why don't you try a simpler one like, oh, the Owl and the Pussycat? That's a damn fine poem!
Hickory, I cannot hear the girl. What's the matter? Why did you stop?
I swallowed one.
Oh, no worry. I've got plenty more. Open your mouth.
It must be 3 o'clock in the morning.
I am always reasonable. Eliza, if I call in with a blistering headache, you can.
I have an headache too.
Here. Eliza, I know you're tired. I know your nerves are as raw as meat in a butcher's window, but think of what you're trying to accomplish. Think of what you're dealing with. The majesty and grandeur of the English language. Why, it's the greatest possession we have. The noblest sentiments that ever flowed in the hearts of men are contained in its extraordinary, imaginative, and musical mixtures of sounds. That's what you set yourself to conquer, and conquer you will. Now try it again.
The rain in Spain stays mainly in the plain.
What was that?
The rain in Spain stays mainly in the plain.
Again.
The rain in Spain stays mainly in the plain.
I think she's got it. I think she's got it.
The rain in Spain stays mainly in the plain.
By George, she's got it. By George, she's got it. Now once again, where does it rain?
On the plain, on the plain.
And where's that song you played?
In Spain, in Spain. The rain in Spain stays mainly in the plain. The rain in Spain stays mainly in the plain.
In Hartford, Kesford, and Hampshire.
Hurricanes hardly happen. How kind of you to let me come.
Now once again, where does it rain?
On the plain, on the plain.
And where's that blasted plain?
In Spain, in Spain.
The rain in Spain stays mainly in the plain. The rain in Spain stays mainly in the plain. Yes, and you?
Very well, sir, thank you.
Splendid. I know. Let's take her out in public and see how she fares.
Mr. Higgins, I was awakened by a dreadful pounding. Do you know what it might have been?
Pounding? I heard no pounding. Pickering? No. Mrs. Pierce, if this continues, you had better see a doctor. I know. Let's take her to the races.
The races?
Yes, my mother's boxing ass cart.
You'll consult your mother first, of course.
Of course. No, we'll surprise her. Let's go to bed, and first thing in the morning, we'll go out and buy her a gown. Go on with your work, Eliza.
But Mr. Higgins, it's early in the morning.
What better time to work than early in the morning? Where does one go for a lady's gown?
Boilers, of course.
How did you know that?
Common knowledge.
Is it? Well, we mustn't get her anything too flowery. I despise those gowns with a weed here and a weed there. Something simple, modest, and elegant is what it's called for. Perhaps with a sash. Yes, just pleasant. Come along.
You've all been working much too hard. I think the strain is beginning to show. Eliza, I don't care what Mr. Higgins says. You must put down your books and go to bed.
Bed, I couldn't go to bed. My head's too light to try and let it down. Sleep, sleep, I couldn't sleep tonight. Not for all that you walk in the crowd. I could have danced tonight. I could have danced all night.
Pickering, I don't understand. Do you mean that my son is coming to Ascot today?
Yes, Mrs. Higgins. As a matter of fact, he's here.
What a disagreeable surprise. Ascot is usually the one place I can come to with my friends, and not for the risk of seeing my son, Henry. Whenever my friends meet him, I never see them again.
Well, you see, he had to come, Mrs. Higgins. He's taken the girl to the annual embassy ball, and he wanted to try her out first.
I beg your pardon?
You know the annual embassy ball?
Yes, I know the ball, but what girl?
Oh, didn't I mention that?
No, you did not.
Oh, well, it's quite simple, really. One night, I went to Covent Garden to hear one of my favorite operas, Aida. And as I was coming out, incidentally, they didn't do Aida that night. No, they did Got the Dammerung instead. I never heard Got the Dammerung before. By George, it's a rackety one. Now then, this tenor chap.
What about the girl, Colonel?
Oh, yes. As I was coming out, I met your son, Henry, who in turn met Miss Doolittle, who now lives with Henry.
Lives with Henry? Is it a love affair?
Oh, heavens, no. She's a flower girl he picked up off the curbstone.
A flower girl?
Yes, Higgins said to me, Pickering, you see that girl? In 6 months I can make a duchess of her. Nonsense, I said. He came right back with, yes, I can. All right, I said, I'll bet you can. So I did, and he is.
The horses are making a paddock, Mrs. Higgins.
Excuse me, Mrs. Higgins, I must go fetch her.
But, Colonel, am I to understand that Henry is bringing a flower girl to Ascot?
Yes, Mrs. Higgins. That's it. That's it precisely. Jolly good, Mrs. Higgins, jolly good.
Charles, you'd better stay close to the car. I may be leaving abruptly.
Oh, she'll be all right. I've taught her to speak properly, and she has strict orders as to her behavior. She's to keep two subjects, the weather and everybody's health. Sort of how do you do in fine day, and not just let her go for self-warm things in general. Help her along, dear, and you'll be quite safe.
Say, to talk about our health in the middle of a race?
Well, she's got to talk about something.
Henry, you're not even dressed for our Scott.
I changed my shirt.
Where is the girl now?
Being pinned. Some of the clothes we bought for her didn't quite fit. I told Pickering we should have taken her with us.
You're a pretty pair of babies playing with your live doll. Ah, Mrs. Einsford Hill.
Oh, damn, are all these people with you?
Mrs. Higgins, is this your celebrated son?
I'm sorry to say my celebrated son has no manners. He may be the life and soul of the Royal Society soiree, but he's rather trying on more commonplace occasions.
Ah,
Colonel Pickering, you're just in time for tea.
thank you, Mrs. Higgins. May I introduce Miss Eliza Doolittle?
My dear Miss Doolittle,
How kind of you to let me come.
delighted, my dear. Mrs. Einsford Hill, Miss Doolittle.
How do you do?
How
Lord Emmett Lossington, Miss Doolittle.
How do you do?
How do you do?
How do you do?
And Freddie Einsford Hill.
How do you do?
How do you do? The first race was very exciting, Miss Doolittle. I'm so very sorry you missed it.
Will it rain, do you think?
The rain in Spain stays mainly in the plain. But in Hartford, Hereford, and Hampshire, hurricanes hardly ever happen.
Hardly funny.
What was so funny about that, young man? I bet I got it right.
Smashing.
I do hope we won't have any unseasonably cold spells. It brings on so much influenza, and our whole family is susceptible to it.
My aunt died of influenza, so they say. But it's my belief they done the old woman in.
Done her in.
Yes, those of you. Why should she die of influenza when she come through diphtheria right enough the year before? Fairly blue with it she was. They all thought she was dead, but my father kept ladling gin down her throat. Then she come to so sudden, she bit the bowl off the spoon. Dear me. Now, what call would a woman of that strength have to die of influenza? And what become of her new straw hat that was to come to me? Somebody pinched it. And what I say is, them as pinched it, done her in.
Done her in? Done her in, did you say? Oh, that's a new small talk. To do a person in means to kill them.
But you surely don't believe your aunt was killed.
Do I not? Them she lived with would have killed her for a hat pin, let alone a hat.
But it can't have been right for your father to put spirits down her throat like that. It might have killed her.
Not her. Gin was mother's milk to her. Besides, he poured so much of it down his own throat that he knew the good of it.
You mean that he drank?
Drank. My word, something chronic. Here, what are you sniggering at?
Oh, the new small talk. You do it so awfully well.
Well, if I was doing it proper, what was you laughing at? Have I said something I oughtn't?
Not at all, my dear.
Well, that's a mercy anyhow. What I always say is...
I don't suppose there's enough time to place a bet before the next race. Come, my dear.
I'm afraid not, Colonel Pickering.
I have a bet on number 7. You'll enjoy the race however much water you take it. His name is Dover.
That's very kind of you. Come on, Dover! Come on, Dover! Come on, Dover, move your blooming ass!
Officer, I know this is Wimpole Street, but would you please tell me where 27A is?
Right there, sir.
Thank you. Those for sale.
Yes, sir. A shilling?
Here you
Thank you kindly, sir.
go. Isn't it a holy day? When she mentioned how her aunt bit off the spoon, she completely done me in, and my heart went on a journey to the moon when she told about her father and the gin, and I never saw a more enchanting farce than the moment when she shouted, "Move your plummet!"
Yes, sir.
Is Miss Doolittle?
Who shall I say is calling?
Pretty Orangeburg Hill. If she doesn't remember me, tell her on the chat was snickering at her.
Yes, sir.
And would you give her these?
Yes, sir.
You need a brush. I want to drink in the street where she lives. I have often walked down the street before, but the pavement always stayed beneath my feet before. All at once am I several stories high, knowing I'm on the street where you live. I live by like trees in the heart of town. Can you hear a word from any other part of town? Does enchantment fall out of every door? No, it's just on the street where you live. And oh, the towering feeling, just to know somehow you are near. The overpowering feeling that any second you may suddenly appear. People stop and stare, they don't bother me, for there's nowhere else on earth that I would rather be. Let the time go by, I won't care if I can be here on the street where you live.
Mr. Heinzman Hill.
Yes?
I'm terribly sorry, sir. Miss Doolittle says she doesn't want to see anyone ever again.
But why? She was magnificent.
Magnificent. Do you have the right to dress so?
Of course. Tell her I'll wait.
But it might be days, even weeks.
Don't you see? I'll be happier here. People stop and stare. They don't bother me. For there's nowhere else on earth that I would rather be. Let the time go by. I won't care if I can be here on the street where you
Higgins, if Miss Doolittle suffers any embarrassment tonight whatsoever, it's on your head alone. I've been begging you to call this thing off ever since Ascot.
Eliza can do anything.
But suppose she's discovered. Suppose she makes another ghastly mistake.
There'll be no horses at the ball, Pickering.
But think how agonizing it would be. God, if anything happened tonight, I don't know what I'd do.
You could always rejoin the regiment.
Higgins, this is no time for flippancy. The way you've been driving here these last 6 weeks has exceeded all the bounds of common. Oh, for God's sakes, Higgins, can't you settle someplace? Quit pacing up and down.
Have a little port. It'll quiet your nerves.
I'm not nervous. Where is it?
On the desk.
The car is here, sir.
Thank you, Mrs. Pierce. Are you helping Eliza?
Yes, sir.
Help her indeed. I'll bet the damn gown doesn't fit. I warned you about those French designers. We should have gone to a good English store, where we knew everyone was on our side. Have a little port.
No, thank you.
It'll quieten your nerves.
No, thank you.
Do you think she'll retain all you have into her?
We shall see.
Let's suppose she doesn't.
Then I lose my badge.
Do you know what I can't stand about you? It's your confounded complacency. In a moment like this, with utterly so much at stake, it's utterly indecent that you don't need a little port. What of the girl? You act as if she doesn't matter at all.
Rubbish, Pickering. Of course she matters. What could matter more than take a human being and make a new human being by creating a new speech for her? Why, it's filling the deepest gulf that separates soul from soul and class from class. She matters immensely.
Miss Doolittle, you look beautiful.
Thank you, Colonel Pickering.
Don't you think so, Higgins?
Not bad. Not bad at all.
Sir Reginald and Lady Tarrington. Professor Zoltan Constantine. Colonel Hugh Pickering.
Excuse me, Mrs. Higgins. Well, Eliza got by the first hurdle all right. The ambassador and his wife were completely captivated.
I know. I've heard several people asking who she is. Do tell me what happened.
Higgins said, Madam Ambassador, may I introduce Miss Eliza Doolittle? And Madam Ambassador said, how do you do? And Eliza came right back with, how do you do?
Is that all?
Oh, heavens no. When it was my turn, both the ambassador and his wife said to me, Colonel Pickering, who is that that captivating creature was Henry Higgins.
What did you say?
Well, I stopped for a moment. Then I collected myself and said, Eliza Doolittle.
That was quick thinking, Colonel.
Thank you. Do you think Eliza will make it?
Oh, I hope so. I've grown terribly fond of that girl.
Professor Henry Higgins.
Ah, Maestro.
Oh.
You remember me?
No, I don't. Who the devil are you?
I'm your pupil, your first, best, and greatest pupil. I am Zoltan Karpathy, that marvelous boy. I have made your name famous throughout all of Europe. You teach me phonetics. You cannot forget me.
Why don't you shave?
Ha! I have not your imposing appearance, your figure, your brow. Nobody would notice me if I shaved.
What are all those old coins for?
Ah, decorations for language. The Queen of Transylvania is here this evening. I am indispensable to her at these international parties. I speak 32 languages. I know everybody in Europe. No imposter can escape my detection. And now, Professor, you must introduce me to this glorious creature you escort this evening. She fascinates everyone, not since Mrs.
His Excellency Dr. Themistocles Stephanos.
This so-called Greek diplomat pretends that he cannot speak English, but he speaks so villainously that he dare not utter a word of it without betraying his origin. I help him to pretend, but I make him pay through the nose. I make them all pay. I do look forward to meeting your lady.
Higgins, I said.
Where's Eliza?
Upstairs. Last minute adjustment.
Let's not risk it. Let's collect the girl and leave immediately.
Henry, do you think it's wise to stay?
Stay? Why not?
Miss Eliza Doolittle.